Hello, I'm Rebecca de Midonsa, and this is a very short video just to show how much fun it can be when you go out in the landscape to paint. And it's the end of January. I went out last week when I seized the day when the sun came out. And obviously it's not the easiest thing to do. It's much nicer to be in our cosy studios or working at home. So I went in preparation for doing this piece as a Zoom pastel workshop. And if you're interested in doing that or see that as a workshop, then I'll put a link in the information below for it. But basically, I wanted to remember what it was like when I was there, when I took the photographs and I went sketching on that day, which was back in the summer. I also want to show you how going and doing quick sketches is actually incredibly valuable. But like these sketches I've got here, they're not finished pieces, they're not something I'm going to put in a frame and sell to anybody, but they're all about the information that goes into my head and how much I learn and how much more I see and feel and hear than if I was just working from a photo at home. So this isn't about producing a great masterpiece, it's just about experiencing what it's like to be out there in nature. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy sharing a bit of my local landscape. So here is the starting off looking at the view as I was walking up the tour, and it really is the most amazing landscape. It did feel like it was quite a hill carrying my bag of pastels, but I got over that when I just saw how fabulous the view is. Oh, this was the spot that I was going to pick, which was the one I did for the workshop, but it was far too windy on this side of the tour. So I walked around to the other side of the tour and discovered this view where I could sit down and be sheltered. Oh, quick top fashion tip. These are my cut off old socks where I just cut a thumbnail so that I could have them like that, or have my hand completely covered when I didn't need to use my hands, or pull them right back when I wanted to sketch or use my phone. So a quick reminder of the view. I sat down, I was in the shelter of a rock, and I got my kit out. Now the first thing I do is a very quick thumbnail sketch. 6 inches by 4 inches in charcoal and black and just white pastel, and then go on to the piece itself. So choosing my blues here for the sky, and also using lilacs to get a sense of distance, and bringing those lilacs down into the landscape, and also using a very pale kind of muted bluey green. And then as I come forward with my sketch, I need to use greens that have more yellow in them. Keep looking at the view. Oh, and I also hold up the pastel that I'm using to check whether it works, because I could see so much of that lilac in the landscape. Now this is an interesting bit. This is what always happens. The light changes and you have to choose between sticking with what you've got or changing the kind of changing your drawing as you go along. And I decided to change because I just wanted to absorb what was happening. So I then started to incorporate this more misty kind of lilac-y light, still using these lovely unison kind of muted lilac-y greys, which are some of my favourite colours, and then kind of coming forward more kind of yellows in the greens, more saturated colours, and also warmer colours. So here I'm using like a terracotta, because there were a lot of really rich kind of orangey brown hues in amongst all the greens, and putting that colour on into the kind of foreground, and then using an even brighter green. So these are my kind of foreground colours, and then looking at that rock, which I really wanted to use the texture and the colour of the paper on this to kind of show, yeah, it's just, they're just so textured, these rocks, they're really beautiful. So I'm just putting on little highlights, and also bringing some of the greens, because it needs to all work together. So again, the light changed, more pink. But if you want to see in detail how I did all these stages on the other piece, head over to my website and look at some of the workshops I've got there where I go into it in a lot more detail, and you can follow along in your own pace, at your own pace. So just quickly looking back at the lovely view, and I have to say a shout out to these gorgeous unison colour pastels that just make me so happy. What a lovely kind of, I just have a great job, it has to be said. So I just wanted to share with you before I stopped how beautiful and tranquil this view was, and how it felt like spring was on the way. And then I'll share the walk back and how windy it was. Well, I hope that you found that useful. Like I said, have a look at my website if you want to see any information about other things that I do. And I think the main lesson from that session was to get out of the wind, especially in the winter. So yeah, more videos coming soon, I hope. And in the meantime, happy pastelling. Thanks for watching.